Sharjeel Imam is still in jail. He is an activist. He has every right to oppose the law of the government, and he has said that Chakka Jam can be done to put pressure on government so that government could come and could pay attention to our grievances. The Shaheen Bagh movement has been engineered by Sharjeel Imam, but mainstream media demonized Sharjeel Imam, and they were basically facilitating the process of charging Sharjeel Imam with sedition cases, and he was arrested. That Sharjeel Imam is not charged in one police station. He has been charged in multiple cases. I don't have much understanding about legal issues. Sharjeel Imam was aware of that phenomena. Friends, constitution was made, and my friend before that has said that criticizing constitution is not such a sin. That Indian constitution is alien. It is not based on Dharma Shastra. In the same January winter, 2 years back, I was asked to speak on Sharjeel Imam, who was arrested, I think, 1 or 2 weeks ago. The meeting was held here only, and I was in the library. And I was asked that I should come and I should speak. Things have not changed. Sharjeel Imam is still in jail, and the question of Sharjeel Imam remains relevant till today. And I must say that most of the progressive forces, they have either abandoned the issue of Sharjeel Imam, or when the later they have realized that there is a large section standing up in support of Sharjeel Imam, they started supporting Sharjeel Imam. And I would say that they have not wholeheartedly supported the case of Sharjeel Imam. This is very sad. And before me, several speakers have said that Sharjeel Imam has said that there should be a Chakka Jam. And Chakka Jam and giving a call for Chakka Jam in a democracy is not a crime, is not sedition, is not Gaddari, it is nothing. He is an activist. He has every right to oppose the law of the government, and he has said that Chakka Jam can be done to put pressure on government so that government could come and could pay attention to our grievances. But why the Chakka Jam was made a very extraordinary thing? I still remember when Sharjeel Imam was not arrested, some news channels started propagating the story that the Shaheen Bagh movement has been engineered by Sharjeel Imam. I don't know who was behind Shaheen Bagh movement, because I do not believe that any individual is so powerful that he has got any key, or he is sitting on the driving seat and he is monitoring everything. He is holding remote control, and now thousands and lakhs and millions of people are following his instruction. I do not believe like this. Sharjeel Imam may be one of the activists, but to say that he was the man behind it, he was the chief architect, he was the brain behind it, I am not interested in giving individual credit to any big movement which has spread all across the country. But mainstream media demonized Sharjeel Imam, and they were basically facilitating the process of charging Sharjeel Imam with sedition cases and he was arrested. Friends, the sad part of this whole process is that Sharjeel Imam is not charged in one police station. He has been charged in multiple cases. I don't have much understanding about legal issues, but I asked my friends what is going on, and they have said that he has to go to Delhi, sometime Uttar Pradesh, sometime Assam. So you could understand that Sharjeel Imam, who is a student of CHS, Center for Historical Studies, JNU, has spoken against CAA, Citizenship Amendment Act, has been active in protest against that law, may be one of the activists, may have given call for Chakka Jam, but is this the crime that he has been in jail for last 2 years and he has been denied all political civil rights? He cannot speak, he cannot continue his study. I sometimes do not understand that why this is happening. But as a student of history, I find the root why Sharjeel Imam is demonized, why Sharjeel Imam is made such a special case, such a big threat for this mighty state, which has got maybe more than 8 lakh plus army forces. This country is said to have third largest economy. This country is said to be very powerful, which could give befitting reply to any neighboring country. That mighty state is threatened by a scholar who has just written MPhil, who is just doing PhD. Is Sharjeel Imam so powerful? Friends, the reason why there is a fear of Sharjeel Imam is because of his Muslim identity. This is no denial, and the answer to this is not very superficial politics between Hindutva forces on the one side and secular forces on the other side. No, this farce has been going on in this country for last 70 or 80 years. Please, this farce must stop. I must say that I associate myself with secular forces, but my understanding of secularism is not the kind of secularism which is being played out by the so-called secular forces in this country. Friends, in this country, the Vedic, the Aryan, the Sanskrit tradition is said to be the real authentic nation, the real authentic Indian civilization. How many political parties, how many secular forces have guts to challenge that narrative? Why the Indian political thought starts with Kautilya? I don't understand. Why Indian political thought starts with Kautilya? Why Vedic tradition is associated with Hindu tradition? Why Hindu tradition is associated with the authentic self of the nation? I don't understand. This is not the problem with Savarkar only. This is not the problem with only MS Golwalkar. Many of the secular leaders, read their writing, who came to become the rulers after independence, read their writings, you will find that the idea of Bharat Mata, the idea of original Vedic self are said to be the authentic self, authentic tradition. And Buddhism, Jainism, Harappan civilization, Dravidian culture, atheistic tradition, and so many other traditions about which I don't know, they are either being appropriated or they are being projected as the reason for the downfall of this country. I don't understand. Political science, which is being taught at this university, and these courses were not designed by any Hindutva forces. These courses were designed by secular forces, and I don't understand that why Indian political thought starts with Manu and Kautilya. Who are the people who have put these people, this thinker? Why we have to study Mahabharata? Why we have to study Gita? I don't understand. This is not the problem with only communal forces. The secular forces are playing this farce that okay, the work has been divided, that communal forces will speak against Muslim, they will talk about violence, and we will come and we will put bomb, and we will do secular politics, and you do communal politics. Sharjeel Imam was very much aware of this game. I have read his writings, which he wrote in newspapers. I don't know him personally because he was my junior, and by the time he entered CHS, I was in PhD, and once you are in PhD, you stop going to your center, and the thing that you fear most is your supervisor in your center. So I was not around my center. At that time he was active, so I don't know him personally, but I have read his writing, and his writing is basically demolishing the farce of secularism and communalism, the binary which has been created by these intellectuals, by these upper caste people in last 60s and 70s year, and that is why Sharjeel Imam is disliked by not only the communal forces but upper caste secular people as well, because he is raising very fundamental questions. It is very easy to say that Hindutva forces were communal and other secular parties were very secular. I am telling you, when the riots took place in Bihar, not the riots which Sharjeel Imam had worked on around partition, the riots around protection of cow, who were the people who were attacking Muslims? It was the leadership of the so-called secular parties at the local level, and the top leaderships are talking about Ram Rajya. The top leadership is talking about secularism, socialism, and their leaders at the ground are attacking Muslim. Am I lying? Go and read the work of Gyan Pandey and other people, how in Uttar Pradesh the so-called local leadership of the secular party in Uttar Pradesh are mobilizing against Muslim. Am I lying? Can this fact be erased? Why partition took place? Was it because of Jinnah? What kind of history have you studied that you blame one individual for any phenomena? No! After 1940s, the secular parties were not willing to share power with the minorities. That was the reason when the Muslim League leaderships got scared and partition took place. Read Maulana Azad, India Wins Freedom. What Maulana Azad is saying? He is a lone man. He is going to top leadership of secular parties, asking, begging, what are you doing? Partition may happen. Stop it, stop it. And the secular leaders are closing the door on Maulana. And partition took place. And what is the narrative? Jinnah is responsible for it. Jinnah is not our hero. But can you blame Jinnah for partition? Was Jinnah so powerful? Was Jinnah so powerful? Sharjeel Imam was aware of that phenomena. Friends, constitution was made, and my friend before that has said that criticizing constitution is not such a sin. Today, Hindutva parties have become the biggest champion of secularism, biggest champion of constitution, biggest champion of the nation. Am I wrong? That they opposed Indian constitution and they said that it was not based on Dharma Shastra. You read the work of A.G. Nurani, you will find that till 1990s, the Hindutva forces were organizing meetings and they were saying that Indian constitution is alien. It is not based on Dharma Shastra. This was their position. They had problem with the flags also. They had problem with the flags also. And now these people are saying that we are biggest champion of secularism and biggest champion of constitutions. Sharjeel Imam have criticized constitutions. I am saying if Sharjeel Imam has become, let's say, anti-national by criticizing constitution, there are many people from the left here also. What was the slogan of CPI? Is it not a fact that they are also against constitution? Is it not the fact that they also criticize constitution for giving protection to property rights and putting the rights of workers and laborers and marginalized in directive principle that cannot be enforced in the court? Is it not the case? Why have you forgotten it? Sharjeel Imam opposed constitution. Since he is a Muslim, he can be put in jail. What is this? What is this? If I, being a Brahmin and Hindu, if I speak against constitution, it can be pardoned. But if I am a Muslim and if I criticize constitution, can that be a reason for sedition charges against me? That is very, very sad. And Sharjeel Imam, for his identity, he is put behind the bar. I am not saying that constitution should not be criticized. I am not saying you must criticize the constitution. Constitution is taught in our courses. I can write my thesis on constitution. I can have different opinion about constitution. What Baba Saheb Ambedkar has said? Ambedkar has said that if political democracy, social democracy and economic democracy, if they are not achieved, then I will be the first person to burn this constitution. Does it mean that Ambedkar was anti-national? Ambedkar was the biggest critic of Gandhi. Criticizing Gandhi means that I am anti-national. Is it the case? No. Sharjeel Imam is being attacked. He is in jail because of the fact that he is a Muslim, and there is no denial about it. I have asked also one of the activists who was also put in jail, and I asked like any lay person that aap bataiye, please tell me when Sharjeel Imam will be out of the jail. He said, Abhay bhai, there is no serious charge against Sharjeel Imam. If any good judge has interest in going through his case, and if he reads and if he is secular democratic, immediately he could give bail to Sharjeel Imam. So I was thinking, I was just thinking that why judges who have studied so much, why are they not able to see it? In judiciary, where is the reservation? Who is responsible for not extending reservation in judiciary? All the judges of the big High Court and Supreme Court, they all come from the same family. Who is responsible for that? If Dalit and Bahujan and Muslims and lower caste, if they were in judiciary, Sharjeel Imam would have been out, because they would have understood the pain of Sharjeel Imam, that why he is opposing CAA, which is based on religion and secularism, must be upheld. So friends, I don't believe that the real fight is secularism and communalism. This secularism, if it is not raising, if it is not taking up the question of caste seriously, that is very hollow secularism. And I want to say that Sharjeel Imam has raised very important questions, and we must stand with Sharjeel Imam. And Sharjeel Imam question is so critical that the so-called intelligentsia in mainstream, the upper caste, the Brahminical self, they are very difficult to swallow his opinion, to reconsider, to think, to change their views. So the real ladai, the real fight is unity, not based on religion. Please, I am not here to say that Muslims unity should be with Dalits. No, the lower caste Muslims, the Garib Muslims unity should be with the Dalits. Religion should not be the basis. This is my personal opinion. You can have criticism against me. Muslims, in the basis of identity, their religious identity is oppressed. I am not denying it. Sharjeel Imam is arrested because of his Muslim identity. But the real ground for solidarity should be based on exploitation, based on marginalization. It should never be on the basis of religion. And that is why the real unity should be the unity of the oppressed. It should be between Pasmanda Muslims, between poor Muslims, between Dalits. It cannot be between Hindu and Muslims. This is my opinion. I as a student of modern history, I know that all the people who conspired against Mughal states were not only Hindus, but there were also Muslims who conspired against Muslims also. And I know it when we were fighting for the rights of Najib, there were Muslim professors in this university who were saying that why you are going and joining this protest. I know one vice chancellor from very eminent university in Delhi has got Padma Shri. Why she has got Padma Shri? Because under her protection, lathi charge was done and she didn't take any action. So for me, the real unity can never be based on religion. It should be based on exploitation. It should be based on caste oppression. It should be based on other sources of marginalization. This is my opinion. I don't know how far I am right, because some of my friends from minority community, they are saying that these days I am doing monkey violence. But I must have my opinion. I must express my opinion, and I stand in solidarity with Sharjeel Imam, and I say that we have to go beyond the facade, the fuzzy, the fraud of the so-called secularism and communalism, and fight for the real unity. And we should never think that the interest of all religious, the interest of the members of a particular religion is the same. It is not like that. I have taken much time. I apologize. I again stand in solidarity with Sharjeel, and thank you very much for giving me support.
I would like to call a picture from Basu to come here and speak.
नेशनल दस्तक की आपसे गुजारिश है कि अगर इसको बचाना चाहते हैं तो नेशनल दस्तक को सब्सक्राइब करने के लिए रेड कलर के सब्सक्राइब बटन को दबाएं, फिर बेल आइकन की घंटी दबाएं। नेशनल दस्तक को बचाने के लिए बहुत जरूरी है कि हर खबर को शेयर करें, लाइक करें, कमेंट जरूर करें।